Everybody's talking about water these days. How much do we have? Do we have enough? Are we facing a drought? And what has the snowpack got to do with it?
If it's high, we worry less. If it's low, we start worrying earlier. So, right now we're starting to, we're concerned and we're watching it closely, and that's really all we can do for another month or so. Until we know how much hits the reservoirs, we can't know for certain. Our crews head up into the hills every 2 weeks, from January through till April, or when the snow really starts disappearing. And what they'll do is they'll measure the depth of the snow and then also how much water is in it. So they'll basically measure the weight of the snow in a core that they take. A 1-year drought isn't our worst case scenario. What we're trying to manage for is for a consecutive drought.
But the mild winter we've just had means snowpack levels are low.
We're approximately down 29% on water equivalent and about 30% on snow depth.
We compare that to past years and say, okay, are we below average, above average? And it's an indicator of how much water we're going to get when the spring runoff does happen, when freshet occurs.
Most of the water we use comes from the mountains surrounding the Okanagan Valley.
Our main sources are Postel Lake, South Lake, and Bowman Lake. They're all up in the same area there, just up Postel Lake Road. So that's where we have our reservoirs to store water. Things start to happen beginning of May, usually late April to early May, when we start seeing the snow melt up in the upper watershed, up in the Postel Lake area. Gut feeling is it'll be a tighter year than last year.
The situation is largely the same for Kelowna's other irrigation districts, who also rely on the snowpack for their water.
We are an arid region with a high population, and our per capita water supply is among the lowest in all of Canada. There's enough water, but there's never enough to waste.
While no one is calling it a drought just yet, water, or the lack of it, will remain in the news for the near future. John McDonald, Kelowna.com.